Okay, I think we're live. Hopefully you can hear me and see me okay. My focus today, my intention today, is to focus on eating mindfully. And I'm going to offer this as a meditation. And I'm not coming from an expert position here. I'm coming from a very novice position. I know that I need to do a little more mindful eating. So I am sharing what my teachers have taught me and offering it as a way for us all to help each other. The advice that I've been given is to not make every single meal a meditation. I've had some experiences with that where it can feel a bit authoritative and unpleasant. So rather than make every meal a meditation, consider instead just choosing one meal, one snack. Maybe start with once a month or once a week, whatever you're able to do. And we will see if it evolves from there. And it may be that it just switches the way that you eat a little bit, maybe creates a bit of a change somewhere. That's the important piece, right? Is to shift something. Okay. All right, Alice is on. I'm not sure who else is joining. I think we had quite a few people saying that they were interested in this. Hopefully they remembered. So I just, before we begin, I'm just going to show you my little teeny tiny plate of goodies. So I've got my chocolate chip. That's the food that I love to eat anytime. I've got my very thin slice of Swiss cheese, which is just meh for me. It's not anything exciting. It does the job. And then I have this teeny tiny little wedge of lemon. And I love a little bit of lemon, but I know that that much lemon is going to have a reaction in my body. And it tends to be, I tend to steer clear of that much lemon because I get a response from my teeth, actually. The whole inside of my mouth will respond to it. So it's not that I dislike it. It's just, it's something that I avoid in that much quantity, that large quantity. So these are my three experiences that I'm going to try. And hopefully you've got something similar. And notice, so let me hold this up. So here's my large hand here. The perspective may be a little off, but these are tiny. This is a tiny little dark chocolate chip. And then this is a very small little thin slice of cheese and a tiny little wedge. It may look bigger because of the perspective, but I don't want to be chewing for days. This is meant to just give you a small idea of what this could be. So we're going to begin by first coming to a comfortable way to sit. Some way that allows your spine to be upright like you would for normal meditation, but also allows you to eat. So, for example, if I were sitting on my meditation cushion, this little platter of food would be far too low. I would have to be leaning forward. So I'm just going to set this up on my computer where it's a little more upright and I can look at it without compromising my shape. Okay. All right. So we're going to focus on the senses a lot. Taste, of course, sight, smell, touch, and all the body sensations that go along with it. And these sensations are going to be initiated by the eating process, but as we know, they ripple outward, they continue from there. So each time you take in a new food, you want to observe how the taste sensations spread all over your palate, your tongue, your cheeks, your throat, and that might just stay contained or it might expand throughout the whole entire body. So be aware of those. And our aim is to meet those sensations with equanimity. That's the trick. That's the rub, as they say. Okay. So we've got our meditation posture. And then we're going to begin just by looking at the food. So the first food that we're going to start with is the one that we enjoy the most. So for me, it's the chocolate chip. So I'm going to look at it. I notice it's got that lovely dark chocolate color. And then as I reach to pick it up and bring it up to my mouth, be aware of the sensations in your hand and your arm so that you're not just mindlessly grabbing for it. So notice the sensation, notice the movement of your arm through space as you bring the food up to your mouth and place it in your mouth. Notice the flavor, the texture. Move the food around a little bit. See how that flavor and texture sensation changes from different parts of your mouth. And with that first swallow, observe how the sensations ripple through the rest of the body. Notice how the body responds to those sensations. And stay with observation as that sensation gradually resides or subsides. So I'm going to pause for a few breaths in between each food as I let the taste and the flavor just sort of dissolve in my mouth. And now, once again, reaching for the next food. So this is going to be the one that I feel neutral about. And for me, it's the slice of Swiss cheese. So I'm bringing it up to my mouth with awareness. I'm noticing how my arm is moving through space, the tactile sensation of my fingers touching the cheese. And then I set it in my mouth. And for this neutral food, the sensations are much subtler. So even as I shift the food inside my mouth, I'm not really seeing a big difference. And as I swallow, yes, there are some responses from my body receiving this food. Not a lot. Neither excited about it nor averse to it. Just sort of, yep, that's nourishment. And then I'm just going to sit with that for a little bit. Sit with the neutrality of it for a little bit. And as you sit, as you breathe, as you observe, be aware that there are distractions, sights and sounds around you. Thinking is always a distraction. Anytime you catch yourself being preoccupied, either externally or internally, gently return. Return to the taste, the smell, and the body's sensations of what you are eating. Okay. So now we come to our last sensation, our last food, the one that we feel the most adverse or averse about, right? So as before, you're going to reach for the food and pay attention to the tactile sensation. So, what's the texture, size, skin. And then as you move your hand towards your face, just notice the hand and the arm. And as it gets closer, smell. Okay, so then you're going to put it in your mouth. Shift it around your mouth a little. Notice any waves of tension or aversion or cringing. See if you can bring mindfulness and equanimity into this experience, eating slowly. Feel how the body is receiving this food. Notice any sense of impatience. This is an opportunity for us to be with the sensation of compulsion, that gobbling up desire, and to cultivate more ease in our daily life. I've been taught this eating meditation by many teachers, but one who stands out is Sharon Allen. And she liked to say, try to love your impatience to death by patiently observing it. So as you sit with the lingering effects of the food that you don't particularly care for, you may notice an impatient desire to wash it out of your mouth, to not have that sensation around anymore, the taste, the flavor. See if you can patiently love your impatience. Breathing, receiving all that you ate or tasted with equanimity, with patience, with awareness. Okay. So my tastes are done. You could do this with a whole meal, repeating the whole process with every bite. Awareness of the tactile sensation, moving your arm through space, the sensation of the smell, the sight of the food, the flavor in different parts of your mouth, and how your body receives this food. And then pausing between each bite to patiently love your impatience. So this is the process. I have to say it is challenging to do with others at the table unless everyone's on the same page. So it may be best to do it on your own with a snack or a small meal and a lot of time. Thank you so much for trying this with me. Let me know how it goes.